Imagine this. You're a cat standing on the edge of a rooftop. Then, one tiny mistake, your paw slips and suddenly gravity takes over. Now you're falling, head first. There's no way to stop it. For almost every animal, this would end in disaster. But cats are different. Something incredible is about to happen. Without thinking, without grabbing anything, your body starts to rotate. It all begins with the head, then the shoulders, then the rest of the body follows. Just seconds later, all four paws are facing the ground. A perfect landing. So, how does a falling cat pull this off? How is that even possible? But this isn't just instinct. Every movement follows a hidden system. Deep inside a cat's inner ear, a tiny balance sensor is always working. The moment the fall begins, it instantly knows which way is up. That's why the head always turns first. Then, the front half of the body follows. Next, the spine bends, allowing the front and back of the body to twist separately. Humans can't do this. Our bodies are simply too rigid. Each movement happens in perfect sequence, almost like a carefully programmed machine. Now the body is perfectly aligned, ready for landing. But one question still remains. How can a cat rotate without pushing against anything? That's the real mystery. Nothing magical is happening. Every movement still follows the laws of physics. A falling body moves downward, but rotation is a completely different motion. Instead of moving as one solid object, a cat controls different parts of its body separately. The front half turns one way, while the back half turns the other. A rigid body couldn't do this. Flexibility makes all the difference. First, the front legs tuck closer to the body. At the same time, the back legs stretch outward. Changing body shape changes how each half rotates. That's the real trick. One small adjustment after another until the body faces the ground. But there's still one mystery. What role does the tail really play? So how can a cat turn without pushing against anything? The answer starts by changing its body shape. When one part becomes more compact, it becomes easier to rotate. At the same time, the other half rotates more slowly. Then the cat switches positions. Now the opposite side speeds up, while the first begins to slow down. Repeating this tiny adjustment gradually turns the entire body. That's how the cat finishes the rotation, without breaking a single law of physics. But many people think the tail is doing all the work. Is that actually true? Or is the tail getting too much credit? For years, most people believed the tail was the secret. It certainly helps, but not in the way most people imagine. Some cats are even born with almost no tail at all, and surprisingly, they can still turn themselves upright because the body is doing most of the work. A flexible spine and precise muscle control make the real difference. The tail mainly makes small balancing adjustments, just enough to keep the landing steady. By this point, the rotation is already complete, so if the tail isn't the secret, why can't humans do the same? If the same laws of physics affect everyone, why do cats succeed where humans fail? The answer starts with something hidden. Deep inside the spine, a cat can curl its body far beyond what we ever could. Its weight is also distributed in a completely different way. That gives each half of the body much more freedom to move. Flexible joints add even more control, while staying remarkably stable. The result isn't luck, it's biomechanics. Humans evolved to walk upright. Cats evolved to climb. Different bodies, different strengths, different solutions. But here's the unbelievable part. Some cats survive falls from astonishing heights. Then came a discovery that shocked veterinarians. Cats weren't just surviving falls, they were surviving impossible ones. The higher the fall, the stranger the evidence became. Veterinary hospitals began noticing the same unusual pattern, case after case. The results kept repeating. One finding made almost no sense. At first, even researchers struggled to explain what they were seeing. Something was changing. Long before the cat reached the ground, its body stopped fighting the air and started working with it. The answer has a name: terminal velocity. For the first time, the air was pushing back. Eventually, gravity and air resistance reached a perfect balance. The cat kept falling, but it was no longer speeding up. That's when its body could finally relax. Skydivers use the very same principle to stay stable in freefall. A wider body catches more air and creates more drag. That extra drag helps slow the descent and makes the fall more controlled. Now the cat could focus on preparing for a safe landing. Every part of its body was perfectly positioned to absorb the impact. But even the perfect landing doesn't guarantee survival every time. The landing wasn't perfect because of luck. Every joint helped spread the force of the impact. Its flexible body absorbed energy that might have caused serious injury. But even remarkable adaptations have their limits. The surface below can completely change the outcome. Age also plays an important role in survival. A healthy body always has a better chance of recovering. Nature improves the odds, but it never promises the result. Millions of years of evolution shaped cats for a life above the ground. So the next time you see a cat land on its feet, you'll know there's an incredible story behind every step. The danger was over, but the lesson was just beginning. For a cat, extraordinary survival is simply part of everyday life. Every movement reveals millions of years of careful adaptation. These incredible abilities evolved long before cities ever existed. Generation after generation, nature refined every tiny advantage. Strength, flexibility, and balance all work together as one system. No single feature makes cats remarkable. It's how everything works together. That's why something we see every day is actually one of nature's greatest engineering achievements. Behind every graceful landing lies an extraordinary story of evolution. And sometimes, the most amazing science is quietly happening right in front of us.